If one morning you are driving down the familiar road home, and suddenly a shadow of a person flashes right in front of your car, your heart jumps, would you have the courage to put the keys down for good? After the age of 75, your body no longer gives the clear warning signals it once did. Changes in vision, reflexes, and the ability to handle unexpected situations happen quietly, to the point where sometimes you are the last person to notice. And the unsettling truth is that just 1 second of delay can turn an ordinary trip into a moment that changes your life forever. I know you may still think, I am healthy, alert, and I have been driving for decades without a problem. Many older adults in the United States and Europe hold firmly to that belief. But medical research has shown that even when you feel fine, small changes in your eyes, brain, and hand-eye coordination are happening every single day. Experience can help you handle many situations well, but it cannot outmatch the passing of time. And the most dangerous moment is when everything still appears normal. This is not a story meant to take away your confidence. It is meant to help you recognize the hidden signs, the silent alarms that sometimes show up only as a new scratch on your car, a moment of pressing the wrong pedal, or an unusual wave of tension on a road you have driven 1,000 times before. In the next few minutes, I will walk you through clear scientific evidence and real-life stories, so you will know exactly when it is time to say enough before it is too late. And trust me, the final sign may be the one thing that still has the power to keep you and the people you love safe. 1. Mysterious scratches that tell a story. Have you ever walked out to the parking lot, glanced at your car, and noticed a brand new scratch or a small dent yet had no idea when it appeared? At first, you might simply shrug it off, assuming it was caused by someone careless in the lot. But if it keeps happening, and you truly cannot recall the moment or place it occurred, this may not be just a random mishap. It could be quietly telling you something far more serious. Your reflexes, focus, and spatial awareness behind the wheel may be starting to change. Once we reach our 70s, and especially after 75, our reflexes are no longer as quick as they once were. Scientific research has shown that the brain's ability to process information and respond promptly slows with time. One significant study found that older drivers check their left blind spot only 23.9% of the time when changing lanes compared to 53.3% for younger drivers. This means hazards that were once easy for you to spot may now go unnoticed, and those small, mystery collisions can start to appear more often. Here is the difficult truth. Many older adults choose not to tell their families about these minor scrapes or bumps, fearing it could lead to losing their independence. They think, it is just a scratch. It is nothing to worry about. Yet those small signs may be the earliest warnings of a much larger accident, one that could have been entirely avoided if the clues were recognized in time. Try taking a morning to inspect your car carefully or ask a family member to help. If you keep finding new scratches or dents with no clear explanation, do not ignore them. Notice where they tend to appear, on the left or right side, near the mirrors, or on the front bumper. Do they happen after driving through tight parking spaces or during rush hour traffic? These patterns may reveal blind spots in your awareness that you were not aware of before. You might also invite a trusted friend or an experienced driving instructor to ride along with you, observing how you change lanes, park, and react to sudden situations. Sometimes, a second set of eyes can catch what you have unknowingly overlooked. If your car is telling a story through its scars, it may be time to consider reducing how often you drive or avoiding risky conditions such as heavy traffic or driving after dark. Taking proactive steps now before a small bump turns into a life-changing crash is always the wiser choice. These scratches may be silent storytellers, but sometimes the warning does not come from your car at all. Sometimes it comes from the way you drive, and when your driving habits start to change unexpectedly, that can be an even more dangerous sign. 2. When your driving style suddenly changes. Think back to your most recent drives. Have you noticed yourself moving much slower or faster than everyone else on the road? Perhaps you have accidentally rolled past a stop sign, forgotten to yield, or even driven through a red light without realizing it. Or maybe you have suddenly found yourself lost on a route you have traveled hundreds of times before. These changes in the way you handle the wheel, even if they seem small, can be powerful warning signs that your perception, judgment, or reaction speed is no longer what it once was. Driving is, in reality, a physical workout for the mind. Your eyes, brain, and reflexes must work together in an instant, and age can quietly slow that coordination. Research shows that about 3.8% of older drivers fail to stop at a red light, often because their vertical field of vision narrows with time. This means you might be focusing on the cars around you, yet missing the traffic signal right above your head. Some older adults choose to drive more slowly as a way to compensate, giving themselves extra time to react. Others feel pressured to keep up with the flow of traffic, which can lead to dangerous speeding. And here lies the dangerous paradox. Driving too slowly can increase your risk of being rear-ended or causing a chain reaction crash, while driving too fast gives you less time to process what is happening ahead. More concerning still, studies reveal that many older drivers tend to overestimate their own abilities, meaning they may not realize that their reaction time or awareness has already declined. This lack of self-awareness can delay the crucial decision to make safety changes. If a friend or family member points out that your driving seems different, do not dismiss it. They may be seeing something you have not yet noticed. You could invite a trusted passenger to ride along and give you honest feedback, or use technology such as dash cams and driving monitoring apps to record your trips, helping you spot patterns like missed signals or unusual speeds. And if you begin to notice these changes in your own driving style, stay flexible. It may be time to limit driving at night, avoid high-speed highways, or stick to familiar short routes. Taking proactive steps early will not only protect you, but also protect those who share the road with you. Because sometimes, the real problem is not how you drive it, is what you see. And when the road begins to blur, even on a bright sunny day, your safety can change in an instant. 3. The road looks blurry, even on a clear day. Imagine a bright afternoon, the sky perfectly clear, and the road ahead so familiar you could almost drive it with your eyes closed. But today, the street signs seem smaller and harder to read. The lane markings look faded, and that pedestrian in the distance, you only notice them when they are already far too close. Perhaps you have found yourself squinting more often, feeling blinded by headlights at night, or straining to see clearly when it rains. These are not just minor inconveniences, they are serious warnings about your safety. Vision changes with age, but after 75, certain eye conditions become far more common. Cataracts can cast a hazy film over everything you see, making the world in front of you look clouded. Macular degeneration can blur or distort what is directly in your line of sight, creating a blind spot exactly where you need to focus most. Glaucoma can narrow your peripheral vision, causing movement at the edges of your sight to disappear before you even realize it is there. Research shows that older drivers detect pedestrians at night at only half the distance younger drivers can. This means that by the time you clearly see an obstacle or a person ahead, it may already be too late to stop safely. On top of that, your eyes adapt more slowly to sudden changes in light, making the glare from oncoming headlights or sudden shadows especially dangerous. The solution is not simply a new pair of glasses. Schedule annual eye exams, and be completely honest with your doctor about any difficulty you have seeing, even if you believe a new prescription will fix it. Avoid driving in high-risk conditions such as at night, during heavy rain, or when the sun is low and shining directly into your eyes in the early morning or late afternoon. Keep your windshield spotless, use anti-glare lenses, and make sure your headlights are aligned so the beam is even and clear. Most importantly, know when it is time to stop. If you struggle with blurry vision, glare, or difficulty seeing clearly even in daylight, that is a sign you cannot ignore. On the road, a single moment of lost vision can change everything. But sometimes, the danger is not in what you can or cannot see, it is in losing your sense of direction, even on the streets you have called home for decades. 4. Losing your way in familiar places. Picture this. You are on your way to the grocery store you have visited every week for years, a route so familiar that every turn feels etched into your memory. But halfway there, a sudden wave of uncertainty hits. Should you take the next left, or is it the one after that? You glance around, and the neighborhood suddenly feels strange, as if you have never been there before. Getting lost in a brand new city is one thing, but losing your way on streets you have known for decades, that is a serious warning sign. This is not simply about having an off day or being distracted. Sudden disorientation on familiar roads can mean that your spatial memory, the brain's built-in GPS, is starting to fade with age. It can also be one of the earliest warning signs of dementia or Alzheimer's disease, often showing up in navigation difficulties long before other symptoms appear. On top of that, slower mental processing can make it harder to adapt when something unexpected happens, like a road closure or heavy traffic. When your brain has to work harder just to keep track of where you are, driving becomes exhausting. That constant tension, the way your hands grip the wheel a little tighter, the way you double-check every turn is more than just uncomfortable. It can slow your reaction time when real danger appears. If this loss of direction or confusion happens more than once, do not dismiss it as just a momentary lapse. Narrow your driving zone for now, sticking to well-lit, familiar routes until your confidence returns. Consider bringing along a trusted passenger who can help guide you and spot hazards you might miss. And do not be afraid to explore alternatives. Rideshare services, public transportation, or rides with family members can keep you mobile without the stress and risk that come from navigating alone. These options can help you stay connected to the world while keeping every trip safe. Still, perhaps the most urgent warning sign of all is not about scratches, speed, vision, or even memory. It is about those moments when disaster is only inches or seconds away. 5. Near misses that keep getting closer. Think back to your recent drives. How many of them ended with you letting out a breath of relief and saying, "That was close"? Maybe you managed to hit the brakes just in time to avoid a car that stopped suddenly in front of you. Maybe a pedestrian stepped off the curb, and you only noticed them at the very last second. Or perhaps a horn blared, and you suddenly realized you had drifted into another lane without noticing. These near misses are not just bad luck or isolated moments. If they are happening more often, it is your body and senses sending you a loud and urgent message. Your reaction time, judgment, or focus has dropped below the safety threshold. Every close call is like a ticking clock. The more they happen, the closer you are to a collision you will not be able to avoid. Research and countless real-life stories from families show that these moments often occur just months or even weeks before a serious accident. The hard truth is that many older drivers and their loved ones dismiss them, blaming one careless moment or the other driver's fault. But deep down, you may already know, your ability to control the car is not what it used to be. Start by keeping an honest record. Write down every close call, no matter how small. When you look back, you will see whether it was just chance or if a dangerous pattern is forming. Listen to feedback from passengers or other drivers, and resist the urge to be defensive. Treat their words as life-saving input. Set a personal safety boundary. Decide exactly how many close calls you will tolerate before making a major change in your driving habits, and act early. That may mean limiting yourself to driving during low traffic hours, avoiding highways altogether, or making the brave choice to hang up your keys for good. I remember one person sharing a story about their father. He would always say, "It was just a close call." But after the third one in 2 weeks, our family insisted he stop driving. Looking back, I am convinced that decision saved not only his life, but someone else's as well. So if your recent drives are stacking up with almost accidents, do not wait for the almost to disappear. Choosing to step away from driving now could be the very moment that saves a life. So, let us take a moment to look back at the 5 warning signs that it may be time to step away from the wheel after 75. It might be those mysterious scratches or dents you cannot quite remember causing. A sudden change in the way you drive, from unusually slow to dangerously fast. The road appearing blurry, even on a clear, sunny day. Losing your way on familiar routes you have driven for decades. And finally, those near misses that are getting closer and closer, the final wake-up call you cannot afford to ignore. If you recognize even 1 or 2 of these signs in yourself, or in someone you deeply care about, please do not see this as giving up your freedom. See it as taking charge, protecting your life, and safeguarding the lives of everyone who shares the road with you. True independence is not about holding on to every habit, but about making choices that keep you and those around you safe. Stepping away from driving is not the end of your freedom. It can be the beginning of a new chapter, one where you discover other ways to stay active, connected, and mobile. Sometimes, the bravest decision is the one that stops a tragedy before it has the chance to happen. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like. It lets YouTube know this message matters. Subscribe for more videos on safe, healthy, and independent living after 60. And most importantly, share this with someone who may need to hear it. In the comments below, tell me which of these warning signs surprised you the most. Your story could be the reason someone else makes the safest decision of their life.